You've got a logo you love and a visual identity that is modern, polished and engaging, but here's the problem. Your brand still isn't working. Leads aren't converting, your team isn't aligned, and marketing feels as though you're shouting into the void. It's frustrating and it's not your fault. You've been sold the myth that branding starts and ends with visuals alone. In this video, we will break that myth. Design is powerful. Great visuals can grab attention, spark emotion, and drive action. But visuals are the expression of a brand and not the foundation of it. Think of your brand like a house. The logo, colors, topography, they're like the walls, the furniture, and the finishing touches. They make it livable, but your foundation, that's the strategy. And without that, your house is built on shaky ground and starts to crack. Too many businesses invest in how they look before understanding who they are and who they're trying to reach. The result, beautiful design with no direction. A brand that looks good, but doesn't work. If your brand isn't delivering results, it's rarely just the visuals alone that are the problem. It's a lack of strategy, effective alignment, and clear positioning that are the cause of all of your issues. Here's what we see all of the time. Marketing teams running campaigns that just don't convert, founders constantly changing direction, sales messaging that just doesn't land, and a disconnect with what your brand promises and how it actually behaves. The misalignment creates friction at every single stage of your customer journey, and that friction kills momentum. Your brand isn't just about how you show up, it's also about how you make decisions, how you strategically position yourself, and how you fit into your customers' lives. It's how your audience feels when they interact with you. If your identity isn't rooted in clarity and strategy, no amount of visual polish will create long-term growth. Why positioning, messaging, and consistency matter more than you think. To fix these issues, you need to go deeper than just the design layer. You need solid positioning. So what space do you own in the market? And why should somebody choose you over anyone else? These are two questions you need to answer in order to understand your brand's position and how you can effectively communicate that. You need clear messaging. So can you articulate your value in a way that is relevant and resonant with your target audience? And does every touch point reinforce the same message, tone, and story? And you need consistency. So is your brand being applied the same way across marketing, sales, operations, service, and your whole culture? And do your employees know how to live that brand, not just recite it? Culture is built in the habits, behaviors, and rituals that we embed into our team. And without clarity and strategy, that just isn't possible. And these aren't just abstract ideas, they're business critical. A clear brand strategy unlocks action. It gives your team the language, the tools, and the confidence to show up every single day with purpose. And it ensures that your design doesn't just look good, it helps to drive the business forward. Let me give you two quick examples of this. So we worked with a client who had already established their visual identity, but there was a missing link between what the brand stood for and what it looked like. After uncovering what that brand stood for, clarifying who they were as a brand, and refining their messaging, suddenly everything aligned. Campaigns landed better, teams understood the brand clearer, and the brand started to connect with its audience again. Another brand we worked with had bold, adventurous visuals, but the brand story wasn't fully dialed in. Once we developed a strategic narrative, uncovered and defined what their archetype mix was, helped them develop a brand personality around that with a strong tone of voice, and actually clarified the identity to match the bold, adventurous visuals, the brand came alive. Every product, every message, every design choice became clearer, sharper, and more impactful. In both cases, we tweaked the visuals, we extended them, we evolved them on from what they were, because design is about communication. And if you think of it as those iceberg diagrams, the tip of the iceberg, the bit that's above the water, is what you see, is your color palette, is your typography, is your logo. But everything under the water is doing the heavy lifting. Your positioning, your personality, your tone of voice, your archetypes, your strategy as a whole. And your design should follow the strategy. It should communicate or help you to communicate your brand to your target audience. And if you can consider what role your brand should play in your audience's life, the visual ideas, the visual metaphors, the icons, the color palettes, the choice of fonts, the choice of imagery, the way you want to use video, all of these things should flow from the strategy and should make sense. When you connect the dots between who you are and who you're trying to reach, the communication part in the middle that comes down to the design, the personality, the product development, the packaging, all these things should become clearer and easier to develop because you know who you are and you know your role. So many times we see businesses who pick colors or pick fonts or pick logos that they really like, but it's not for them. They are never going to be a customer of this business. The audience wants to be the one that you think about when developing your brand, from everything, from your messaging to your personality to the way that you developed your products. All of these things should be considered with the audience in mind, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you like green or you like red or you like blue, because if your audience likes red or your audience engages with red, or red communicates what you want it to communicate to your audience, and that's going to make them buy more, increase loyalty, pass your details onto their friends, family, and loved ones. It doesn't matter whether you like red or not. So design should follow the strategic foundation that you've put in place in order to communicate the brand to your audience in a way that makes sense for them. So if your brand feels like it's underperforming, if your marketing feels like it's not sticking, if your customers just aren't engaging with your brand, or your team just really isn't sure what your brand stands for, design shouldn't be your first thought. Strategy and clarity should be. At Elements Brand Management, we believe that branding is about a process of transformation, about unifying a brand and aligning it from the inside out, from your team to your customers. It's about unlocking the full potential of your business through psychology, strategy, design, and creativity. If you're ready to find out what's holding your business back, where you're strong, where you're weak, and where you can improve, we actually have a 4-minute brand power assessment. It takes you through a number of questions, gives you a customized report at the end of it, and gives you the key areas that you can focus on to take your brand to the next level. A link for that is in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button below this video and the bell notification so that you're notified every time a new video drops. Videos come out weekly and they're designed to help you unlock your brand's full potential so you can stand out from the competition and create more impact. Have a great week, catch up soon, and keep those brands unified.